Yo, what's up, guys? Travis here with the Increase Life Show. I made the show because I'm tired of seeing Christians getting their butts kicked financially, in their careers, and basically in everything. So I made this because I want you to win and not just live a nice middle class life. I want you to win, and I want you to win big. I want you to be the top of your industry, the top of your business, the top of your career. I want you winning the awards and breaking the records and making God look awesome. So I'm glad you're here. You're in the right spot. In today's episode, I'm going to talk about a little topic here that is it's controversial. I've heard it preached and teached multiple different ways with different outcomes and results. So I'm going to present something new to you today. Have you ever had the thought, man, I thought I'd be further along in life by now. I thought I'd be making more money by now. I thought I'd be rich by now. I thought for sure I'd be a millionaire by now. I thought for sure I'd be famous by now. I thought for sure I'd be successful by now. And I used to do this. That question, it can mess with you. And it's typically rooted in some kind of comparison, right? You're looking at somebody else's results, someone else's Instagram, someone else's Facebook, someone else's highlight reel of all the vacations they take, the house they got, the cars they got, the money they got, the things like that, right? And you compare ages, and you're like, okay, we're about the same age, or he's a little younger than me, but he's way ahead of me. Like, nah, I've been at this longer than him. I should be further. I want to present something to you. I'm going to challenge you a little bit, all right? I was listening to a billionaire, and this guy's cool, from Australia. He was, at the age of 26, he couldn't read or write. He was illiterate. And he got saved. He started living for God and immediately started self-developing, immediately started looking for mentorship, immediately started going after business and things like that. And within, I don't know how long it took, 10 years, 15 years, not that long, he became a billionaire. All right. From a guy who couldn't read or write at age 26, and he was a bricklayer. All right. And he said this, he said, have you ever had the thought, I should be further along in life than I am right now? He said, you're right. You should be further along by now. That's why you're having those thoughts. You should be. You know that there's something in you that you are not tapping into. There's something in you that you're just letting lie dormant. You've been too passive. You let yourself off the hook too many times. You've been too easy on yourself. That's why you're feeling this way. It's because you've got more in you you're not doing anything with. You've got more in the tank, but you've been taking it easy. You've been talking yourself out of stuff. You've been letting the enemy, this is me now, not necessarily him, but you've been letting the enemy get you off course, get you distracted, telling yourself you're not worth it, you can't really do anything, who are you, what value do you have to bring? And you're giving into those lies. You're getting off by that 1 degree. The enemy talks us out of less than God's best. That's his main plan. Because you got to remember, the devil's looking at you and he's like, I don't think I could get him to renounce being a Christian and become an atheist all of a sudden. He's in too deep. But if I could get him to settle for less than God's best, then I've won. If I can get him, if he's supposed to go start that company, but says he takes that day job, perfect. If I can get him to just compromise on the person he's going to marry, she's going to marry, oh, perfect. If I could get them to compromise, to settle, to split the difference, then I've won. That's how the enemy's thinking with you. And so if you're like, man, I thought I should be further along in life. Yeah, get off your butt and go put your hand to something. Deuteronomy 28 promises that everything you put your hand to is going to prosper if you listen to the voice of the Lord. All right, cool. Go get your instructions. Go listen to the voice of the Lord and go put your hand to something. I'm talking to myself here. I've had that thought countless times. I should be further along in life. And it is typically when I'm looking at somebody else who's about my age or younger and they're more successful than me in, money standards or impact standards or influence standards. I get those thoughts too. All right. So what I used to do is I used to say, all right, I'm not going to worry about it. Like, it's just like my lot in life is not to be at that level. That's for him. Like, he gets to be at that level, but I guess like the hand God dealt me isn't going to be that high of a level. So I'm just going to get cool with it, be satisfied with it, blah, blah. No. If God did it for that guy, he can do it for you. He can do it for me. It may require you to take a new set of actions in order to get there. It may require you to turn up the persistence, the endurance in you in order to get there. It may require you to think on new levels, to get around new people, to get into a mastermind group or a mentorship group. You might have to pay for it. You might have to buy your way in to get around these new levels of people with new levels of thinking so that you start thinking like them, acting like them, and getting the results that they have. Maybe you're not further along in life right now because you settled. You've let the enemy talk you out of the best. Perhaps you've just thought everything's going to happen for me because I'm a Christian. God's going to do it all. And God's saying, I've set you up for success, but you got to put in the work. You got to do stuff. You got to take action. Remember, faith without action is useless. Faith without action is dead. Faith requires a corresponding action to it. A lot of Christians are doing the corresponding action. They might be doing the faith part. You might be speaking it. You might have got great confessions. You might be talking it out. You might be in the Word every single day. But money's not going to flow to you. Success isn't going to come to you unless you are putting your hand to it. Another translation says, everything you undertake will prosper. But a lot of you guys aren't undertaking anything. You're just dreaming. You're just talking. There's a proverb that says, hard work leads to profit. Mere talk leads to poverty. A lot of you guys just merely talking about it. And you ain't doing anything. I remember I picked my friend up one time. We were just going for a drive, I think. Picked him up and we were talking about the future, talking about money, talking about wealth, talking about becoming a millionaire, talking about these things. And he said, I just know God's going to make me rich one day. And I asked him this because I've said the same thing. And I said, how long have you been saying that? And he was like, probably about 20 years. Has it happened yet? No. 20 years is a long time. What are you doing in order for him to make you rich? What value are you bringing? What are you exchanging? What are you trading? Do you think you're just going to get a check in the mail? Are you playing the lottery? Are you is God going to magically manifest money in your bank account? I mean, I guess that can happen. I'm not saying it couldn't, I suppose. But that's just not how it works. That's not how to live. We don't live miracle to miracle. We live in the blessing. Proverbs 10:22 does say the blessing of the Lord maketh rich. Combine that with Proverbs 10:4, it says the hand of the diligent maketh rich. The blessing is what gives you that ability, the covenant. Remember Deuteronomy 8:18. God has given you the covenant power and ability to get wealth, to establish the covenant he made with your ancestor Abraham. All right? So he's given you this ability to get wealth, but you can have the ability, I can have the ability for karate and be a ninja, but never use it. I could have that ability. I could have the ability to juggle. I could have the ability to whatever, to cook. I could have the ability, but that doesn't mean I'm using my ability. It's just lying dormant. And I think a lot of you guys, your abilities to make wealth, to get wealth, is just lying dormant. You're waiting on something to happen when you need to be making something happen. God will direct you. If you start to get off course, he'll say, come back. Just stay in tune with the Spirit. Wake up in the morning, pray, get instructions, pray in the Spirit, be Spirit-led. He won't let you go down the wrong path. He'll shut doors if he doesn't want you to go down there. You're not going to become greedy. You're not going to become selfish because that's not who you are on the inside. You're a generous person. As you obtain wealth, you will become more generous, right? You will be a bigger blessing as you grow financially. Don't worry about that, okay? So listen to me. I want to say all this today is challenge yourself a little bit. I think a lot of you are being too easy on yourself. Letting yourself off the hook too much. Oh, it's just this. Here's why I haven't been successful. Oh, it's because, I don't have a college degree. It's because this, because that. I don't have any money. If somebody would just teach me, if I could just, and you're putting the responsibility on everybody else. You just need to put it on yourself for a minute and be like, there's a time, guys, I'll be real with you. There's a time when you just need to look at yourself and be like, I kind of suck. All right, fix it. God, I need your help here. I need your help in these areas. Show me in the Word. Show me what to do. Put me around the right people. Let's get this thing fixed. Okay? A lot of you guys just aren't owning it. You're not taking the time to be like, oh, crap. Kind of a wuss. God, I repent. I repent for worrying about that, for being fearful about that, for acting like that. All right. Now I fixed it. Let's roll forward. Paul says, one thing I do is forget the past and press forward. All right? And he killed people. He murdered Christians. I don't think you've done anything that bad. But you need to kind of take the same approach, right? And the Bible also talks about judging yourself so that God doesn't have to judge you. I think it's kind of in that same realm where it's like, man, I did not handle that well. Man, I haven't been doing much. Man, I haven't been putting my hand to stuff. Man, I've been lazy. Man, I've been fearful. Man, I've been scared. Man, I've been living in the land of hope instead of the land of faith and action. I've been wishing and dreaming instead of taking action. I've been merely talking, which leads to poverty, when putting your hand to something leads to prosperity. You also write that down. I just made that up. That's good. Listen, be a little harder on yourself, but then don't stay there. Don't beat yourself up. Don't live down and depressed. Just be real. Just own it. Confront it so that you can fix it and move on. That's what I'm saying. Maybe you're not further along and ahead in life right now because you haven't done that. Take responsibility. Own that. And let's go crush it in this life. Let's go catch you up to where you ought to be. If you need help with this and you haven't been through the Increase Challenge yet, you're missing out. The Increase Challenge is literally going to help you do those. It's 5 days of coaching with me, but then you also get 5 Increase assignments, each one specifically designed to level up how you think, to upgrade your identity, to upgrade your mindset, and get you on these new levels and get you taking action. All right, head to theincreasechallenge.com. Come hang out with me. If you haven't done it yet, what are you waiting for? You won't be the same person at the end of those 5 days. I guarantee it. All right. I love you guys. Make sure you subscribe to all my stuff because I got new content coming out daily and you don't want to miss it. I'll see you in the next one.